they're closed, Terry. We're good right now. And as soon as this last group of parents is going to come in, I'm going to make a quick announcement, and then we'll get started. Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, we are excited to have you here to celebrate the graduating class of 2021. So welcome. Just a few house cleaning things. We're excited to have all of those of you that are here in the stadium. We're going to welcome some more guests in from the back so you can come in as we get started. We are also excited to have our guests over here on the street. Thank you for being here. Sorry that you can't be inside, but this is awesome you're here. And for those of you that are home watching on the television or YouTube, we're excited to have you with us as well. So we are going to get started with the ceremony. Thank you for all of you that are wearing masks. As students come up on the stage, you are going to be able to take off your mask for the picture and the speakers. Otherwise, please keep your mask on for the duration of the ceremony. All right, will you please stand for the presentation of colors by the Del Campo Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Senior Class President Katie Batura.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing as we play the national anthem as performed by the United States Army Band and Chorus. Thank you. You may be seated.
All right, once again, welcome. My name is Greg Snyder. I'm the principal here at Del Campo and the proud person to be able to serve this class of 2021, our graduates. We are excited to start this day with you, have some great weather for you, so that is a great thing for us as we start this. As we get started today, I wanted to welcome Melissa Bastinelli from our cabinet. She's our assistant director, superintendent. And Dr. Michael McKibben, one of our board members. Thank you for joining us here this morning. I'd also like to give a special thank you to both Sandra Hager and Emily Bassett. They have worked tirelessly to put the graduation ceremony together for us. This year we had planning that we've never had to do before, so let's give them a big round of applause. I'd also like to thank our vice principals, Mr. Mark Euler and Terry Berkey. If you guys don't know, we've been setting up the field all week long. Josh Guess, our head custodian here. It has been a tireless effort from not only them, but all of the volunteers that have come out here and helped us, including some of you as students. So thank you for all of the work that went into this. I'd like to thank you as parents and guests that are here. Without you, this graduating class would not be here today. We're celebrating not only our 4 years of high school achievement, but we are celebrating 13 years of education. These students have worked hard since kindergarten to get to this point in time, and they've worked hard in the last 4 years at Del Campo High School. So parents, we're going to stand up and give you a nice sounding round of applause from our student group. So students, will you stand up and celebrate your guests that are here with you today? Next, I'd like to thank our teachers. Without you, this year would have been a catastrophe. We started here in August not knowing what this school year was going to look like. We had to plan out curriculum that was online and deliver through a Zoom model that we had just learned about back in March. So teachers, we can't thank you enough for getting our seniors here to this point to graduate. Thank you, teachers. Students, you've been through a lot this year, and we want to celebrate the fact that you've made it. Your resiliency speaks loudly to us as administrators, as school staff and faculty, as parents. We are proud of you for the resiliency that you've had to stick with it, to remain strong through the entire school year, to continue your classwork through distance learning, through coming back in some type of a hybrid model. So seniors, congratulations to you as well. Next, I'd like to celebrate some of our distinguished members of our audience today. So first and foremost, if you are committing to the military, I'd like you to stand right now. So these 5 students, as you remain standing, have given up some of their own personal desires to join and support our military and serve our country. I know for a fact that we have some students here that have many scholarships that they gave up to attend college in order to go and start serving in the military right away. So we just want to acknowledge your accomplishment in high school, but more so your commitment to this country. Thank you so much. Next, I'd like our valedictory scholars to please stand. Our valedictory scholars are students with a 4.0 or higher GPA based on their weighted grades through honors and AP classes. You are just a model of what it takes to be committed to your academic studies, dedicated to your teachers, your classwork. So thank you so much for all that you've done, valedictory scholars. Next, I'd like to recognize our Scholars of Merit. If you are a Scholar of Merit, will you please stand? If you don't know that you're a Scholar of Merit, I believe it's on the program. You are listed in there. So this is the California Golden State Seal. You are acknowledged with this at the senior graduation ceremony, or the senior award ceremony. So those of you that are standing right now know about it. If you're not standing and you're there, we'll make sure that you guys get acknowledged some other way. But thank you again for your commitment to the A to G courses and being qualified to go to a 4-year college. Next, for those 4 of you that are our principal scholars, we have 4 students at our school that have received straight A's all the way through high school with no B's. So if you are one of those 4 students, will you please stand for our principal scholars? And last but certainly not least, we have 1 student at Del Campo that has completed 4 years of high school without missing a single period. So where are you at? Take a bow. Thank you so much for all of your hard work and dedication. It takes a lot to show up every single day and never miss a moment. Seniors, as we reflect on this moment in time, this is a snapshot in our history that none of us will ever forget. Last year's senior class was the first to graduate with COVID-19 and the pandemic that had hit us, but they didn't get to sit in a ceremony or in a stadium to celebrate their graduation. We were out getting in trouble in the park back there trying to have parents arrange some type of a celebration for students, walking across a makeshift stage, taking pictures of them. So when we came back this year, we knew that we did not want to do that to our senior class. Our cabinet and our board committed to having our seniors here at graduation ceremony this year, no matter what that was going to look like. And we are excited to have you here today. I want to take a moment in time to just celebrate what this year meant, but not to spend too long on it. You know the dedication it took to wake up in August and go, okay, I'm going to get on a Zoom. I'm going to get on my computer and figure out how to go to class through Google Classroom. I'm going to figure out how to complete work on my own without a teacher there to directly support me and come over to my desk and help me work through a problem. Your commitment to getting on Zoom every morning in August, to showing up, to being present, is something that will stay with you for the rest of your life. You have had to work through a pandemic that nobody else in our lifetime has had to work through. Never before has the country been shut down like this for such a long period of time. And this is something that we will put a stamp on in history forever as the class of 2021, persevering through with hard work and dedication, a pandemic that kept most of us home and that still keeps most of us home today. We're excited to have you here today. We're excited to be able to celebrate this, and I don't want to spend too long focusing on the pandemic. I want to celebrate some of the things that you have done in high school. So if we go back to that freshman year and you coming into this campus and starting to compete in sports, in academics, in senior hallways, in the Sportsorama, you started working at that time. And the last time that we had any of those events, what did you do? You went out and you beat the seniors. You said, we're going to show up, and that experience would not be robbed from you. So I am so glad you guys had the experience to get out there to compete. We got to come back this school year to sports. We know how important sports are. In fact, over half of the senior class here participates in one sport or another. You got to get out and compete in sports, and we finished at the top of the league in nearly every single sport we competed in this year. We just had our basketball team competing last night, both boys and girls. We had our baseball team playing games this week as well. In fact, you seniors that are on some of the sports teams are still going to be playing sports next week after you've graduated. That's the first time that has ever happened. So for all of you athletes, and for any of you that have competed in anything else like Acadeka or Link Crew or in our mock trial, we'd like to just acknowledge you right now and the commitment that it took to stick with that through the pandemic. So thank you to all of the athletes. Okay, last but not least, I want to celebrate some of our members that are here with us and give the opportunity for the students as they've worked through this graduation to be able to celebrate them as well. So this year we have 6 members of our staff that are retiring. They have committed to not only the 4 years of your high school experience, but they've committed to a whole career of education. So will Terry Berkey please stand? Ida Gonzalez. Roberta Wahlberg. Eric Wallenberg. David Godby. Unfortunately, Rita Ball is not able to be here with us today, but Rita Ball, your hard work and dedication to our students has been apparent throughout your career, and we want to celebrate you today. So if you're a student here, will you stand up and celebrate our retirees, please? This is a journey that you have been on, and I am proud to be called the principal of Del Campo High School, to be up here celebrating with our esteemed staff faculty, the accomplishments of the class of 2021. Students, we're proud of you. We're proud of everything that you've done and that you stand for. And we know that the pandemic and your 4 years of high school have prepared you for a career beyond Del Campo High School. Students and class of 2021, we are so proud of you. Thank you for all that you've done. All right, next up, I would like to introduce our inaugural speaker. So Ken and Kakovic, will you please come to the stage? Come on up.
Good morning, class of 2021. On behalf of my fellow graduating seniors, I would like to begin by thanking the parents, families, teachers, administrators, counselors, friends, and all of those watching from home for your support throughout our journey over the past 4 years. Your encouragement throughout our time at Del Campo High School has not gone unnoticed. And on behalf of the graduating class, I truly thank you for all that you have done. For all of us in the class of 2021, this journey truly began 1,396 days ago, when we collectively stepped foot on this campus for the first day of our freshman year. We all sat in our freshman seminar classes to learn about the ins and outs of high school. When the bell rang, we meandered through the hallways and quads, trying to meet new people and see old friends. As the freshman class, most of us shared similar feelings. We all began high school in an unfamiliar place, facing things that we were never warned about. We soon realized how fast the block moves, served as the test subjects for FlexiSketch, and we took our first finals in December. The early days of our freshman year held the promise of all of our exciting high school events. Our first rally, our amazing first place worthy homecoming halls, farm theme, our first high school dance, our first football games, which lasted late into the evening, and countless other memories. Our sophomore year came next in our journey. Our core classes began to get more challenging. And for some of us, this is the year that we began taking honors and AP classes and started to experience the rigor of high school. We spent long days at Starbucks and countless nights studying for Miss Konecki's quizzes and tests and writing essays for our English classes, all to reach the end goal, passing our class or the AP test. Some of us even earned their driver's licenses. But we weren't quite the big dogs yet on campus. Junior year is when everything changed. Although it was an academically difficult year, we started off strong. We won first place in halls, we beat the seniors at Powder Puff, and we were on track to win Sportsorama. Unfortunately, as we all know, the world shut down on March 13th, 2020. We left school for what we thought was an extended spring break. Most of us rejoiced at this unprecedented news, but we all underestimated the time we would spend away from Del Campo and how long it would take to come back together as a community and recover from the pandemic. We finished out our junior year through distance learning, and we couldn't wait to get back for our senior year. Well, we all know how that happened. Back in August, us seniors understood what this pandemic truly entailed. We were facing a virtual senior year. Although this pandemic took away many events that would normally build a senior year, including our dances, football games, senior rally, ability to see our friends and classmates in person, and it limited the availability of our extracurricular activities. We were still able to build our senior year and make the best of what was offered, beginning with our senior sunrise and all of the Zoom realities that quickly kicked in. People walking in the background of our classes, our cameras turned off, and constantly battling through dropped calls and microphone issues. We remained in school virtually for the majority of our senior year, but we still had the opportunity to make memories and come together as a class. We have finally reached the end of our high school journey and are ready to begin the next chapter of our lives. Some of us are moving on to a four-year university or community college. Some of us are preparing to enter the workforce, and some of us are proudly serving our country. To my fellow graduating seniors, remember this. Regardless of what the next chapter of your life entails, remember that we made it to this moment today, graduating as the class of 2021. Thank you.
Kenan, thank you so much. Next up, I'd like to introduce Dr. Michael McKibben to present his message to the audience.
On behalf of the trustees of San Juan Unified School District, I add my congratulations to the Del Campo High School class of 2021. It's great to see you all decked in your gowns and your caps. It's great to be here alive. Thanks to all the parents and guardians and the other loved ones who have come to celebrate the achievements of our graduates. Thank you to our teachers, counselors, administrators, and other personnel who are here to provide your support and your best wishes. I want to take a few minutes to reflect on the educational and personal journey that you have taken over the past couple of years. None of us planned or bargained for our personal, economic, and educational lives to be disrupted by the worst pandemic in our country or the world has experienced in 100 years. We have found ourselves stuck between how to keep each other safe and how do we provide the education that you deserve. Like it or not, you became part of the team of students and teachers to take on this balancing act. You did not choose to be part of it, probably didn't like it. I know I didn't. The uncertainty absolutely drove me crazy, and control never enters the mind of any board member. As a person who has spent most of the past 50 years teaching and studying teaching, and what makes great teaching and effective learning, I want to turn to what I think we learned from our experience as learners and teachers. Here are some of my observations. You realize that the mistakes that you make are often the greatest learning experiences. I will tell you that my greatest successes often started with my most epic fails. We try, we fail, we try again. As you were confined in your learning space, many of you learned the best ways to spend your time, including those practices that probably waste your time. Winston Churchill cautioned, if you stop and throw rocks at every dog that barks at you, you will never get to your destination. For many of you, this learning experience during the pandemic was one of the hardest ordeals of your life, but you did it. You completed the promise that you made to yourself and to your loved ones. If there is a silver lining in the journey that we have been pressed into, it is that we have been given opportunities for great resilience and perseverance. Rachel Carlson called resilience the muscle you build as you learn. These are the attributes of life that most employers and educators declare as the most valuable instruments in life's tool chest. I hope that you will take time to reflect on the experience that you've had over this year. As you self-evaluate, I recommend that you use a very generous curve. I have found that my life successes are measured less in what I know or thought I knew than how I dealt with barriers and setbacks and challenges that confronted me. I suspect yours is the same. I hope that you will measure your victories in how you serve others rather than how much money you make. Some of you will have a little trouble with this one. Check back with me in 30 years. I close with this quote from the philosopher Kierkegaard. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. Congratulations, class of 2021. Good luck. We are so proud of you. Go change the world.
Thank you, Dr. McKibben. Next up, I'd like to introduce our commencement speaker. It is my pleasure to welcome Sydney Strange to the stage, who will present the commencement speech.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sydney Strange, and I am so honored to be speaking here at this very special event for all of us. Some of you may be here because you are parents or family. Some of you may be teachers or Del Campo staff. Some of you I know, some of you I don't. But I'm lucky to have the pleasure to meet you now. To my fellow seniors, we all have one thing in common. We're all about to become graduates of Del Campo High School. It almost doesn't feel real to me, but I have been in denial about this for kind of a while. Give me a week and it'll hit me like a brick. This past year has been interesting, to say the least. While living in a global pandemic under quarantine, some of us learn new hobbies like how to bake bread or recreate that whipped coffee trend. And some of us even memorize the TV shows we've been rewatching for ages. We've all lived through one of the biggest historical moments of the civil rights movement coming back, as well as so many important world events. I personally can look back on this last year and immediately tell how much I've changed as a person, as well as the world around me. During the pandemic, I learned how to vote in an election for the first time, how to communicate more effectively, how to build a deck and how to sew, and how to slowly become more of an adult. I got very bored and had a lot of time on my hands. A more recent hobby I developed during the pandemic is kayaking. In the past few months, I've transitioned from flatwater lakes to more intense whitewater rapids. I knew I was going to have a job working as a whitewater rafting guide this summer, so it seemed smart to gain experience in rougher, more turbulent waters. I wanted to learn how to paddle in the right water. You see, whitewater can be both exhilarating and dangerous if not done safely. I absolutely love the thrill of the rapids, which leads to a pretty interesting tidbit about me. You see, I get terribly seasick, but only on speedboats. Whenever anyone learns this about me, I'm always asked, how do you not get seasick kayaking? Now, I wish I had the scientific answer to this, but who really knows how our bodies work? When I consider this question in more depth, I come to one realization. In a kayak, to properly evade the eddies and paddle through the towering white waves, you have to work with the river and flow with it, not against it. To kayak, you have to work at it. You come out of the river feeling sore, tired, and hungry, usually. To win against the river, you have to work hard and pay attention to your surroundings. As for me and my fellow classmates, I think that's something we've learned how to do over this past year. We've learned to go with the flow, not against it, and how to work with what we've been given. We learned how to navigate through online school, then hybrid, all while staying safe through a pandemic. For instance, we've had to adjust to having class on our computers and phones while sitting in our homes, sometimes struggling to try and balance home and school life when they no longer look different. While I'm sure a lot of us imagine online school would be the dream, I don't think we were quite prepared for what it ended up being. Now our graduating class has made it safely to this brand new shore, now with new experiences and stories to tell. We may have gotten flipped, but at least we know how to swim, thanks to those who have helped us along the way. I would like to take a moment to thank all of the parents and teachers who have made this journey possible through their patience and for their support and hard work. You know what, graduates, can we give them a round of applause really quick? Thank you. I'm so thankful for the staff here at Del Campo. There have been so many amazing teachers who have helped shape me into the person I am now. And I know there are so many teachers, coaches, and staff who have been phenomenal mentors and even like a second family to so many of my fellow classmates. Without their help and guidance, we wouldn't be the lovely people we are today. They have helped guide us to what career we want to pursue in the near future, or help with college applications when they got tough, or even just acted as a listener when we needed to talk. I know I will never forget those that have been there for me from freshman year to now. So thank you. I know every teacher here has affected some student's life for the better. I could only hope each one of us can be that kind of mentor for someone else someday. Looking ahead, I can't speak for exactly what our futures will bring, but I know it will be wonderful. I look out at my fellow grads and see future nurses and doctors, firefighters, filmmakers, mechanics, programmers, teachers, you name it. I can't help but smile at seeing you all succeed. Maybe you've decided to go to work right out of high school, or maybe you're going to college for years and years. Maybe you'll join the military too. Whatever you do is going to be stellar. And while I can't see where we're going yet, I know wherever life takes us, we will make the best of it. To my fellow seniors, today we have made it to our long-awaited destination from this first bit of our lives. We all woke up today and got here to celebrate our accomplishments, and we deserve to be celebrated. If you haven't heard it today, know that I am proud of you. I'm proud of you for graduating, for waking up another day, for becoming the person you are right now, and for the person you will become over the next few years, especially as you enter these new uncharted waters. I encourage you to celebrate your achievements no matter how small or insignificant they may seem. Today, we'll all celebrate this one together. Tomorrow, we'll all paddle ahead with a little more knowledge and a whole new river ahead of us. I look forward to seeing on whatever rapids come our way with all of you. Congratulations, class of 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Sydney, and thank you again, Kenan. It is now my honor to introduce our second distinguished guest, Deputy Superintendent of Schools and Student Support, Miss Melissa Bassinelli.
Good morning. I am really excited to be here as a member of the Superintendent's Cabinet, but also as a former principal of Thomas Kelly Elementary. I am bursting with pride seeing former Thomas Kelly Elementary students here in our graduating class, and I'm very proud and honored to be authorizing the issuance of the diplomas today. By the power vested in me by the State of California and the Board of Trustees of the San Juan Unified School District, I hereby authorize the issuance of diplomas of graduation to the students of Del Campo High School, graduating class of 2021. Principal Snyder will now present the diplomas to the class of 2021.
Okay, you guys ready to graduate? Let's do it. All right, Miss Bader, go ahead and lead the first line up, please. Again, students, as you walk across stage and prepare for this moment, as soon as you get up on the stage, you are able to take off your mask. You're going to come over, get your diploma from me. We'll pose for a picture with your mask off. Photographers are over here. And then as you walk off stage, please put your mask back on and return to your row.
Trevitt Wheeler. Mark Kagan. Caden Tamblin. Malachi Ajayi. Kenan Chachkovich. Robert Lawrence Pierce IV. Zara Liu. Zora Liu. Isaiah Gonzalez. Jessica Lavilla.
Jacob Macias.
Christopher R. Perez.
Katie Batura.
Haley Gray.
Jessica Michelle Benavides.
Sydney Strange.
Alfredo Olmos.
Jason Glover.
Callie Mader.
Avery Angeline Gatlin.
Lily Mae Wilm.
McClaney and Renee Wade.
Tavon Gordon.
Brian Charles Labor.
Eli Pogozelski.
Caitlin Rose Carnes.
Tyler Leiter.
Kalia Renee Yvonne Sanders.
Ben Wazelkew.
Whitney Gray.
Bowden Turetsky.
Jasmelius Parrish.
Evan Wu.
William Howard Snyder II.
Luis Estrada.
Zach Hickethier.
Anne Wright. Andrea Wright.
Jason R. Newberry.
Grace Larson.
Joseph Hart Adge.
Kevin Watts.
Vanessa Elaine Harrell.
You guys are going together. Eric Matthew McKee.
And Michael Alexander McKee.
Brandon
Alexander Legay.
Xavier Clark.
Lily Rainbow Billow.
Jackson Ayodeji Taylor.
Jamie Pack.
Hannah Casper.
Sean Alexander Berger.
Malik Parker Williams.
Damyan Agovich.
Chloe Hayner.
Raven Sharif.
Isabella Toffanelli.
Aiden Sauer.
Ellis Morrison Cox.
Gabe Corp.
Jacob Isaiah Bailey.
Savannah Rianne Harris.
Jennifer Rosas.
Annie Swiven.
Isabella Simone Silvers.
Taylor Hack.
Nicholas Joseph Robinson.
Ebony Villaseñor. Cielo Trevino Oseguera.
Emma Twardos. Caleb Lulani.
Evangeline Archibek.
Kaya Amber Gordon.
Danny Wen.
Uona Vianina.
David Anthony Placido.
Gavin Marks.
Cameron Wayne Hamilton.
Josiah Marcos Hernandez.
Nevaeh Lane.
Bailey Lorene King.
Andrew Thimble.
Karina Guerra.
Daniel Obuk.
Richard Edward Aguilar.
Cameron Niles.
Shantae Pickens.
Isabel Loeffler.
Sean Ahern.
Jacob Connor Thompson.
Alicia Salazar.
Joseph Cruz.
David Andrew Haig.
Shyla Parks.
Morgan D. Glass.
Ayla Jace Kraft.
Juliana Paul.
Gavin Felke.
Lillian Johnson.
Ella Rose Colburn.
Laura Raquel Trejo Choa.
Samantha Abigail Gomez Moran.
Nikki Flores.
Harrison Adams.
Gregory Cornell.
Elliot Van Noland.
Christopher Carey.
Patrick White.
Austin Reitzman.
Madeline Lazar.
Jared Lazar.
Jeremy Matthew Weber. Kira Wilrich.
Crystalline Beatty.
Jahan Gilpilga.
Stanley Stephen Placido.
Conlon James Huff Ortega.
Caleb S. Qualls.
Grace Mueller.
Madeline Eakes.
Samuel John Ratkovich.
Leslie Garcia.
Max Dronov.
Corinne Zainab Burgess.
Nevaeh Mays.
Ethan Zane Fleming.
William Tudor.
Anthony Thomas Marinelli.
Stephen Mitchell Woods.
Tyler Hacker.
Wyatt Carl Dale Gerke.
Samantha Lee.
Justin Lipner.
Casey Craner.
Italy Escoto.
Emma Boyd.
Alina Brianna Copeland.
Kaylee Richardson.
Damian J. Binder.
Leilani Malia Cotton.
Dayla Stair.
Abigail Durrett Beeble.
Michelle Guerrero.
Sean M. Campo.
Dante M. Fanucci. Xavier Acevedo.
Caleb Hutchins. Laurel Shea Terra.
Courtney Burnett.
Emily Popove.
Kyle Kaiser.
Kylie Alderman.
Leonard Ryan Gross.
Jade Fong.
Brian Cruz.
Parker Davis Whiteside.
Jack Henry Farrington Maxwell.
Katiana Gibson.
Trevor Ray Gamble.
Julio Pistachio.
Maria Hernandez Torres.
Nathan G. McAfee.
Robert Schneider.
Kimora Neve Robinson.
Haley A. Hopkins.
Hayden Thomas Rhine.
Benjamin Manzukic.
Abigail Templeton.
Felicia C. Cummings.
Eddie Trunk Circada.
Mehran Rezai.
Aaron Benjamin Strow.
Armand Sagamonians.
Alex Michael Isaias.
Aurora Wilson Dominique.
Savannah Mitchell.
Julia Danner.
Nick Wary.
Ethan Alexander Arredondo.
Katarina McRory.
Cyrus Estep.
Madison Faith Bertrand.
Daniel Crunk.
Rianne Felice Gonzalez Almazan.
Melanie Peña.
Matthias Douglas.
Nikki Davis.
Kyle Hunting.
Garrett Hunting.
Jacob Hall.
Bobby Durkee.
Valerie Kirsten Ehring.
Connor Marsh.
Landon Bryce Jones.
Emma Kinnear.
Rafael Bartito.
Elijah Smith.
Victoria Bautista.
Kevin Kutzer.
Braden White.
Kendra Nicole Dantes.
Brezovich.
Rhiannon Perea.
Kirsten Raboyne.
Kaylee Johnson.
Israel Williams IV.
Brianna Lynn Horton.
Emily Sava.
Kylie Davis.
Connor Ribondo.
Ivory Folster.
Michael Ashen Jr.
Jonathan Perez Ambriz.
Sarah Meslou.
Emma Marie Tetlow.
David Grandin Gonzalez.
Sophia Bohomaz.
Riley Bristow.
Devin James Harris.
Kendall Ann O'Brien.
Connor Reed.
Adrian Parada.
Bayan Ali Alfola.
Elizabeth Ortiz.
Vlad Nietzsche Poruk.
Logan Powers.
Caleb Kothi.
Kyle Cravens.
Aiden Comer.
Nicholas Blake Deerfield.
Kenneth Dentley.
Patricia McVeigh.
Kueli Moore.
Monica Landeros Ayala.
Elliot Ortega.
Sabrina C. Fox.
Jesse Espinosa.
Logan Stammerjohn.
Aries Noel Leanne Younger. Natalie Gomez Estrada.
Elibel Liddy Tete Bannon.
William Pamula.
Brandon Chavez.
Summer Burrows.
Kaylin Blackwell.
Yoko Buxit.
Blake Alexander Beltram.
Julian Banks.
Jack Falco.
Brennan Blanco.
Caleb J. Coakley.
Zoe Garcia.
Ryan Thiel.
Braden McGough.
Lillian Jolene Urban Flood.
Amelina Bluss.
Ryan Motti.
Ian Matsumoto.
Angelica Aleman.
Samantha Steves.
Michael Morgenstein.
Alfredo Sanchez.
Madison Stein.
Nathan Julian Ferreira.
Marcos Ortega.
Jaden Wright.
Joseph Story.
Eric Vassar.
Nicoletta Ketraru.
Ariana Cecilia Monroe Hernandez.
Mustafa Zweni.
Grace Elizabeth de la Cruz.
Jacob Zarita.
Jasmine Alhunati.
Nicholas Roybal.
Jordan Lee.
Leah Glushenko.
Anthony Edward Nelson.
Jayla Seeger.
Jordan Wright.
Haresa Mahmoudi.
James Luke.
And Nolan DeGeorgis.
right, congratulations to the class of 2021 and to each of you for this monumentous accomplishment. Graduates, please stand for the playing of our alma mater.
Hail to you, our old Campo. Hail to the blue and gold. As we fight to win our victories with colors strong and bold, memories we'll have forever with loyalty strong and true. Hail to you, our alma mater, we'll remember you.
To signify that we are all officially Del Campo High School graduates, the class of 2021 will now move their tassels from right to left. Once a cougar, always a cougar.
All right, once again, congratulations to the class of 2021. Thank you to all of our Del Campo families and staff and faculty for supporting these young men and women, both in this moment and as they work to reach this goal and this important point in their educational careers. Thank you, board member Dr. McKibben, Deputy Superintendent Melissa Bassinelli, for witnessing and certifying the ceremony. We ask that all guests remain seated until we dismiss you row by row. We will exit the stadium, students up to the front here and guests to the back. Once you have exited the stadium, students, you're able to either leave via your car or meet your parents around the tennis courts in the parking lot. Parents, you'll meet your students out in the parking lot if you're going to meet them here on campus. As a reminder, we are not allowed to gather inside of the stadium for anything or any reason. So, without any further delay, row 1, you can be dismissed. The very last row of our guests, you can be dismissed out to your right, my left, and out of the back. Okay, the next row of guests, you may be dismissed. Second to the last row of guests, and second row of students, you can follow out this row. The next row of guests, you may be dismissed.